A highlight of Elizabeth's week was Sunday afternoons, for it was the one meal of the week she could be assured of not dining alone. Soon after Mary united with Mr. Hardwick, Elizabeth had invited them to Sunday dinner at the estate, and it was now a weekly engagement that she anticipated and valued. That Sunday, the Hardwicks came to Longbourn a little later than usual, Mr. Hardwick apologising for the delay, citing an important discussion with a parishioner that had delayed their arrival. Elizabeth cheerfully deflected his apologies and invited them to sit, eager to converse with her relations. "How is the parish, brother?" Mr. Hardwick had insisted on a more informal mode of address since he had married Mary, and Elizabeth was only pleased to agree. "Well enough," replied the pastor. "There is little of want in the parish at present, though there are always problems. It seems we mortals cannot escape them, even if we subsist in great wealth or privileged circumstances." "Yes, it is our lot to endure hardship. I suspect we are meant to experience joy in this life, but not all is joyful." "If we did not know sorrow, we could never appreciate joy." Elizabeth smiled at his paraphrase of Holy Scripture. "I hope you will excuse me, brother, but I hope our joys will outweigh our sorrows, for we Bennets have had enough of those for a lifetime." Mr. Hardwick knew something of the Bennet family's recent history, enough to nod and change the subject. For a time they spoke of the parish and the issues provoking his concern. As those were few, they devolved into more general conversation, much to their mutual enjoyment. As the parson was intelligent and learned, and Mary's education had grown under his guidance, they took pleasure in each other's company. One of Mary's favourite pastimes had long been the pianoforte, though Elizabeth suspected her sister now enjoyed the instrument, rather than considering it a means to gain accomplishment and distinguish herself from her sisters. Unfortunate though it was, Longbourn's parsonage had no pianoforte, though Mary could use the instrument in the church. Though Mary was welcome to visit the estate and play the pianoforte as much as she wished, the duties of the parsonage and the demands of her young son often kept her away. She still visited during the week to play, but the one day Mary knew she would have the opportunity, much like Elizabeth's anticipation for weekly company, was during those Sunday visits. "The instrument is old," said Mary, after she had played one of her favourite pieces for her family's pleasure. She ran her fingers along the keys she knew as well as an old friend, adding, "It has been in this room for as long as I can remember." Elizabeth smiled at her sister. Mr. Hardwick was still on the sofa with a slumbering child in his arms. "As I recall, Papa informed me that grandfather purchased it for grandmother when he was a boy." "Yes, I remember. Have you considered replacing it?" With a smile, Elizabeth shook her head. "As you know, I am not the enthusiast that you are. The instrument is sufficient for my needs, though I suppose it is becoming more difficult to keep it in tune. With the more modest expenses of the estate, I could afford to purchase a replacement, if it would please you."